The rain was coming down hard on the pavement as Olivia Starling pulled her old suitcase down the street. There was nobody around. Olivia Starling could still hear what her landlord had said. She had 24 hours to get out of the place. That is what the landlord had said. No exceptions. Olivia Starling was 7 months pregnant. She did not have anywhere to go. She only had $83 in her purse. Olivia Starling felt alone. The rain just kept coming down. Olivia Starling thought about her situation. She was Olivia Starling. She was all alone. Olivia pulled her coat tighter against the cold November wind. The baby kicked hard against Olivia's ribs like the baby was saying it did not like what was happening. Olivia put a hand on her belly, whispering softly to the baby, "Everything will be fine, baby. Mama Olivia will make this work." Olivia told the baby that Mama Olivia would figure this out. The Blackwood estate was in front of her, its big iron gates lit up by old lampposts. Olivia had walked by the Blackwood estate a lot of times when she was out for a walk in the morning. She never thought that one day she would be standing in front of the Blackwood estate really needing a job. The Blackwood estate and her need for work had changed everything for Olivia. A small notice on the gate caught her eye. It said they were looking for a housekeeper. The housekeeper would get a room and food, which is really nice. If you want to be the housekeeper, you should go inside. Ask about it. Olivia's heart was beating fast. Having a room and board was a deal for her because it meant she and her baby would have a place to stay and be safe. She pushed the intercom button, waited, holding her breath, as a lot of static noise came out of the speaker. Room and board was something Olivia really needed for her baby. A woman with a clear voice picked up the phone. She said Blackwood residence. Olivia said she was there about the housekeeper position. She tried to keep her voice steady. The housekeeper position was what she really wanted. "I know it is late," Olivia said. She saw the notice about the housekeeper position, and she really needs this opportunity with the housekeeper position. There was a long pause. Then the gate. It opened. The driveway went on as Olivia walked toward the mansion. The mansion was really something when you saw it up close. It had an old style of building with pointed windows, and the gardens were perfectly taken care of. You could see light coming from the windows of the mansion, and that gave Olivia a glimpse of what life was like inside the mansion. The mansion looked very nice, with its light and pretty gardens. An old lady wearing a navy dress opened the door. Margaret Ellis said she was the head of the household staff. She looked at Olivia with sharp eyes and saw the way she was. Margaret Ellis said, "You are going to have a baby." "Yes, ma'am. I have been doing this for 7 months. Olivia lifted her chin. "I can do the work. The job is very important to me. I am strong. I really need the job of Olivia more than anything that Olivia wants." Margaret's face looked a little nicer. "You should come in out of the rain. The master of the house is going to want to meet you before the master of the house makes any decisions about you." Olivia followed her through a fancy foyer. It was decorated with crystal chandeliers and old paintings of serious-looking family members from a long time ago. The sound of wheels on the marble floor made Olivia turn to look down the hallway. She felt like she could not breathe for a moment. Her breath caught in her throat. It was like something was stopping her from breathing. The man in the wheelchair looked really thin, not like she remembered him. There were circles under his eyes, which made it seem like he had not been sleeping well and was hurting inside. His eyes were still the same, a deep green color that reminded her of the moss you find in the forest. Julian Blackwood's eyes were very recognizable. Julian Blackwood looked a lot like he did 2 years ago, except he was in a wheelchair, and his face looked tougher. "This is the person who wants to be the housekeeper," Margaret said. Miss Olivia Starling spoke up. Her voice was really quiet. It was Olivia Starling. Julian looked at her, and for a moment everything else just faded away. She saw something in Julian's eyes, like he knew her before his face went completely blank. Julian's jaw got really tight. His hands grabbed the arms of his wheelchair. "Miss Starling," he said. His voice was really cold, even colder than she remembered it. "The job she was applying for is going to be Miss Starling. It requires her to work for a time and do physical labor, Miss Starling." He wanted to know if Miss Starling was really sure she could handle it considering her condition. "Miss Starling." The way he talked was really cold. He was acting like they were strangers, like they had never hung out, never had a time together, never had that amazing weekend. When they were really close, before he just left without saying anything, he was acting like the weekend they spent together wrapped in each other's arms never happened. The weekend they spent together was something, but now he was pretending it meant nothing to him that they had never met, that they had never laughed together, that they had never spent that incredible weekend together. Olivia replied that she is perfectly capable matching his demeanor even as her heart shattered into a million pieces. She told Mr. Blackwood that she is a worker. Olivia said she will not let Mr. Blackwood down. Julian looked at her for a long time. "Margaret, please take Miss Starling to where the staff live. If Miss Starling still wants to work after she sees where she will live, we will talk about the job in the morning." As Margaret walked with her, Olivia could feel Julian's eyes on her back. It was like his stare was burning a hole into her. She did not want to turn around. She did not want Julian to see how much his mean behavior was hurting her. Olivia just kept walking with Margaret, trying to ignore Julian's gaze, trying to ignore the pain that Julian was causing her. The staff quarters were in a part of the mansion. They were not fancy. They were nice. Margaret took her to a room. The room had a bed, a dresser to put her clothes in, and a window that looked out at the gardens. The gardens were really pretty. You could see them from the window of the staff quarters. Margaret was showing her around the staff quarters. The little room was where she would be staying. "You will start at 6 tomorrow morning if you accept," Margaret said. "First you have to do the breakfast preparations, then you have to clean the living areas. The master likes to keep to himself most of the time, and more so since the accident happened to him." Margaret told you that the master is a quiet person and the accident has made the master keep to himself. Even more, Margaret said. Olivia really wanted to know about the accident. She was wondering what had happened to Julian to make him need a wheelchair. She did not say anything. What accident was she even talking about? Margaret looked really sad. It has been 18 months since the car accident. That accident broke his spine. The doctors told him that he would never be able to walk. This really changed him. The car crash changed him completely. He used to be a person always going to new places, always laughing. The car crash changed him. Now he ever leaves the estate, he just stays at the estate. The car crash changed his life. Olivia's hand went to her stomach without her thinking about it. She was trying to figure something out in her head. It had been 18 months ago. This was 6 months after he spent that weekend together. Olivia thought about that weekend. Now her mind was on the fact that it had been 18 months ago. The woman said that she will take the position. She said it quietly. After Margaret left, Olivia sat on the edge of the bed. She could not stop thinking. Julian Blackwood. The man who had taken her heart during those 3 days before he went away was now the person she worked for. Julian Blackwood. He was also the father of her child. Julian Blackwood did not know this yet. She looked for Julian Blackwood everywhere after she found out she was going to have a baby. The problem was that Julian Blackwood was an ordinary name, and she only knew his first name from when they were together. It took her a time to find his family. When she finally did, she learned that Julian Blackwood had been in an accident and had stopped seeing people. She tried to see Julian Blackwood times, but the people who worked for him would not let her in. They kept saying that Julian Blackwood was not seeing anyone. Now she was living in his house, having his baby. He was treating her like someone he did not know at all. She was carrying his child, living under his roof, but he was acting like she was a total stranger to him. Olivia lay back on the bed. She felt really tired. Her body felt heavy. The baby kicked again. Olivia smiled. She could not help it. Tomorrow is the day she will get some answers. Tomorrow, Olivia will try to figure out what to do about this tough situation with the baby. She looked out the window, saw that the lights were still on in Julian's study. She wondered if Julian was thinking about her. Did Julian remember the way they had connected the things they had said to each other when it was dark? She could not. Think about the weekend she spent with Julian. She thought about the promises Julian had made to her. Had that weekend with Julian meant nothing to Julian? The rain continued to fall as Olivia closed her eyes, wondering if coming to the Blackwood estate was fate's cruel joke or a second chance she never expected to receive. Either way, she was here now, and she would fight for her child's future, no matter what it cost her heart. The sun was coming up. The first light of the day was getting through the curtains. This woke up Olivia. She was going to start her job at the Blackwood estate. Her body hurt because the bed was not what she was used to. Olivia got up anyway. She wanted to show everyone what she could do. At 5:30, Olivia put on the black clothes that Margaret had left for her. Then she went to the kitchen. Olivia was wearing the uniform to work at the Blackwood estate. She was ready to start her day at the Blackwood estate. The next 2 weeks went by. Everything was really quiet. Olivia did her job, and she did it well. She cleaned the rooms and made food with Margaret watching her. Julian stayed away from her. He would talk to Margaret. Then Margaret would tell Olivia what he said, or he would leave her notes on his desk. But even though Julian was not talking to her, Olivia would feel like he was looking at her all the time. She would see him standing in the doorway or looking through the window at her. Olivia felt like Julian was always watching her. She would be working. She would feel his eyes on her. She said to herself that this is for the best. It is safer this way. Every time she sees him, her heart hurts. It hurts every time she remembers the man he used to be before the accident happened. She remembers the man he was before something changed him into this person who's so cold and distant. The man he was before is not the man he is now. It was a Wednesday afternoon when everything changed for Olivia. Olivia was dusting the library. She was reaching for a high shelf when Olivia felt a sharp pain in her abdomen. This pain was very bad. Olivia gasped. Her hand went to her belly. Then her knees gave way. The feather duster Olivia was holding fell to the floor. Made a loud noise. Help, she called out weakly, holding onto the bookshelf to stay up. Another pain hit her. It was even stronger than before. This was not supposed to happen. The baby was not ready to come out. She was only 7 months pregnant with the baby. The baby was coming early. The baby was not fully grown. The library door swung open fast. Julian rolled his wheelchair inside quickly. He looked really pale. Olivia, what is going on with the library? And Julian, what happened to Julian? The baby, she was crying hard and it hurt so much. Something is wrong with the baby. Julian pulled out his phone with hands that would not stop shaking. He dialed the emergency number while he got closer to her in his wheelchair. He told her to stay with him, and his voice was really scared. He said that the ambulance was on its way to help her. The ambulance was coming to get her, and the ambulance would take care of her. Olivia slid down to the floor, sat with her back against the bookshelf. Julian moved his wheelchair beside her. He reached out, took Olivia's hand in his. The way Julian touched her made Olivia feel a lot of things. It was a feeling she knew well. It hurt a little because it was so gentle. Julian's touch was familiar. It made Olivia feel very tender inside. Julian, she whispered. Another contraction was. It made her cry out loud. She really needed to tell Julian something. He told her to save her strength. At the same time, his thumb was making little circles on her palm. This was something he had done before, like when they walked through the park 2 years ago. His thumb moving in circles on her palm was really familiar. It was something that brought back memories of the park. He was doing it again, making her remember the time they spent together 2 years ago. Walking through the park, no. Olivia squeezed his hand hard. If something bad happens to me, you have to know this. This baby, she is yours. The color just went out of Julian's face. His eyes were over hers, like he was really hoping to catch her in a lie, but he knew he would not find one. What was going on with Julian? The color had really drained from Julian's face. That weekend 2 years, Olivia said, crying really hard. The hotel, by the coast, you know the one? You said your name was Julian, and I never found out your name until I got here. I was looking over for you when I found out I was going to have a baby, but you were gone. Then I heard about the accident that happened to you, and the people who worked for you would not let me visit. You. Julian's hand was shaking in hers. My God, he said slowly. You have been carrying my child all this time, and I was so mean to you. I treated you like someone I do not even know. Julian's child, our child, was growing inside of you, and I did not even care. I was so cold. To you, I was really upset, Olivia cried. I thought you did not care about me. I thought that weekend we spent together did not mean anything to you. That weekend was really important to me. I thought it was just another weekend to you. Julian's voice was shaking. Olivia, those 3 days we spent together meant everything to me. I fell in love with you during that time. When I went home, I wanted to find you and ask you to be with me. Then the accident happened. Julian looked down at his legs, felt angry. When I woke up in the hospital and found out I would never be able to walk, I thought I had nothing to give you. I told my staff to send anyone who came to see me. I did not want you to see me like this, Olivia. I thought Julian was not good enough for you anymore. I thought I was protecting you from being tied to someone who's not a complete person. I was trying to keep you from being with a man who's only half of what he should be. The thing is, I did not want you to be with someone like that, with a man who's not whole. Olivia said this to him in a strong voice, holding his hand very tightly, even though it hurt. You are the father of my child, she told him. The man I always loved and never stopped loving, Olivia said. The sound of sirens was getting closer and closer. Then Margaret came running in with the paramedics. They quickly checked on Olivia to see how she was doing. One of the paramedics said she was going into labor early. We have to get Olivia to the hospital now. Julian said that he is coming with her. He said it in a way that made it clear he does not want to hear any objections. Julian made it very clear that he is coming with her. Olivia was taken to the hospital. They had to rush her into the emergency room. Julian was waiting outside. His face was in his hands. He was praying to God. He had stopped believing in God after he had that accident. He was praying now. Margaret got there a while later. She put her hand on Julian's shoulder to make him feel better. Margaret said that she will be fine, and she meant it. Margaret thinks that the woman is strong. The woman is really strong. Margaret believes that about her. Margaret is talking about the woman. She said that the woman is strong. It felt like a long time. Then a doctor came out. He was smiling. The mother and the baby are doing okay. The medicine helped stop the contractions. Now she has to stay in bed for the rest of her pregnancy. The good thing is that the mother and the baby are healthy. Julian let out a breath that he did not know he was holding on to. I want to see the girl. Can I see the girl? Olivia was sitting up in her hospital bed when Julian came into her room. Her face looked really pale. It was calm and quiet. When she saw Julian, Olivia smiled, a little not too strong. She was definitely happy to see him. Our daughter is going to be stubborn. Like her mother, she said softly. Julian wheeled himself to Olivia's bedside. He took her hand in both of his hands. He said to Olivia, I am so sorry, Olivia, for everything that happened, for disappearing on Olivia, for pushing Olivia when Olivia came to the estate, for wasting the precious time that Julian and Olivia could have spent together. With each other, with Olivia. Olivia said we both did things that were wrong. She squeezed his hands. Now we have a chance to fix things and make them right, Olivia said. We can make things better now with the situation we're in, Olivia told him. Before Julian could say anything, the door opened. This tall and fancy woman, who was probably in her 60s, walked in. Constance Blackwood, who was Julian's aunt and the one in charge of the family money, looked at Olivia with a lot of dislike. Constance Blackwood did not look happy at all. She looked at Olivia with eyes, and you could tell Constance Blackwood was not pleased. This is the girl who is causing all the trouble. Constance. You can tell she does not like her. Julian, I got your message about this situation with the girl. That is really sad. Julian's voice became very serious. Aunt Constance, I want you to meet Olivia Starling. The woman I love and the mother of my child, Olivia Starling. Constance's laugh sounded really fake. Do not be silly, Julian. You do not know this girl well. The girl is obviously after the money that belongs to your family. She got out a checkbook from her purse. Tell me how money you want, girl. Whatever amount it takes to make you go away and take care of this kid far away. From the Blackwood family. Olivia's eyes were really angry, even though she was not feeling well. I do not want your money, Mrs. Blackwood. What I want is for my daughter to be happy and have a life. My daughter needs her father. I think that is what is best for her. I want her father to be in her life because that is what my daughter deserves, and that is what is best. For my daughter, Constance started to say something. Julian stopped her. How dare you, she was going to say. Julian did not let her finish. He cut her off away. Constance was really upset with Julian. That is enough. Julian's voice was really loud and firm. It was something Olivia had never seen him do before. Aunt Constance, you have been in charge of our family's things since my mom and dad passed away. You will not tell me what to do about this. I love Olivia. I am going to be a dad. If you cannot deal with that, then you are not allowed to be around me anymore. Constance's face turned red. You would really pick this person who's not even important over your own family. Over the things that the Blackwood family has achieved and the name that they have made for themselves, the Blackwood legacy? Julian said yes. He said it in a really simple way. He did not wait or think about it. He just said it. The older woman looked at him for a long time, then she turned around and walked out really fast, slamming the door shut behind the older woman. Olivia looked at Julian with wide eyes. He just stood up to Constance Blackwood. That is a big deal. Constance Blackwood is not someone you want to mess with. Olivia was thinking about what Julian had done. He stood up to Constance Blackwood, and that took a lot of guts. Julian said that he should have done it years ago. He took her hand, kissed it. He felt that he had wasted a lot of time doing what other people wanted him to do. The accident made him realize that life is really short and very precious. He did not want to waste the life of Julian on what other people thought he should be doing. The accident was a lesson for Julian. Julian learned that he needs to live his life the way Julian wants to live it. He put his hand into his jacket pocket, took out a little box covered in velvet. This made Olivia stop breathing for a moment. The box was small. It was made of velvet, which is a really soft material. Olivia was so surprised that she could not breathe. The little velvet box was now in his hand. Julian said, "This is not a romantic place." He opened the box, showed Olivia Starling a really beautiful diamond ring. "We have a lot of things to figure out. Olivia Starling, will you marry me? I want to spend the rest of my life making things right between us. I want to make up for the time we were not together. Olivia Starling, will you have kids with me? Will you live with me in this house that has been empty for too long?" Olivia's face was filled with tears as she nodded her head. She said yes quietly. The word yes came out of her mouth again and again. Olivia wanted to say yes 1,000 times. Julian put the ring on her finger. Then he leaned forward, kissed her very softly. When they stopped kissing, the woman and Julian were both smiling at the same time. They were really happy. That is why they were crying and smiling. Julian and the woman were feeling a lot of love for each other. The next 3 months were really crazy. Olivia had to stay in bed at the estate. Julian was with her all the time. They would talk for hours and hours. They told each stories about their lives. They made plans for what they wanted to do in the future. They even picked out names for their baby daughter. Olivia and Julian were so excited about their daughter. They could not wait to meet her. Margaret was a help to Olivia. She loved getting the nursery ready and taking care of Olivia. Margaret was like a mom to Olivia. Some of the people who helped Julian get better noticed that he was trying harder. Julian wanted to be strong for Olivia and their new family. He worked hard in his therapy sessions. Julian was determined to be as strong as he could be for them. Constance never came back. Julian got a really formal letter from her lawyer. The letter said what would happen now that Constance was leaving the family business. Julian signed the letter away. He did not think twice about it. Julian chose the person he loved over the money. He chose love over the family business. On a nice spring morning, Olivia started having her baby. This time, everything was just right. Julian was holding her hand the time she was in labor, telling her she was doing great and wiping the sweat from her forehead. He did not leave her side for 1 minute. Julian was always there for Olivia when she needed him. He was still holding her hand through every pain. Olivia was very lucky to have Julian with her. When the baby girl finally came into the world and she was perfect and healthy, with a lot of hair and her dad's green eyes, Julian cried without trying to hide it. Olivia handed the baby to him. He held the baby girl like she might break if he was not careful. "Hello, one," he whispered. I am your daddy. I want you to know that I will be there for you every day. I will make sure you feel loved every day of my life. Your daddy is going to do everything to make you happy and loved. They named her Grace Evelyn Blackwood. They chose the name Grace because it reminded them of the chance they had been given. The name Evelyn was chosen to honor Olivia's mother, who had passed away a time ago many years before. 6 weeks later, on a nice day in June, Olivia and Julian got married in the gardens of the Blackwood estate. The wedding was very small, with Margaret, a few good friends, and baby Grace sleeping quietly in her bassinet right next to Olivia and Julian. As Julian put the wedding band on Olivia's finger, he said the vows he had written. "You came into my life when I had stopped thinking I could be happy," he said. His voice was full of emotion. "You showed me that love is not about being perfect, about choosing each other every day. You gave me a daughter, a family, and a reason to think that tomorrow will be a day." Julian was talking to Olivia. He meant every word he said to Olivia. Olivia and Julian they were both very happy. "I will not be able to stand beside you. I will spend my whole life standing up for you, protecting you, and loving you with all my heart. I want you to know that I will always be there for you, doing everything I can to keep you safe and happy. My love for you is very strong, and I will always stand up for you. I will always protect you. I will always love you with everything I have, because you are very important to me, and I care about you so much. I love you." Olivia's vows were really from the heart. "You showed me that home is not a house, but the person you are with. Family is not about being related, but about the people you care about and want to be with. I remember coming to your house with nothing, and you gave me so much. I promise to love you whether you are sick or healthy, happy or sad. For every single day that I live." When the person who was doing the wedding said that, Julian and Olivia were now husband and wife. Julian pulled Olivia down into his lap. He gave her a big kiss. Their little daughter was there. She saw them kiss. The people who really cared about them were there too. They saw the kiss. Years later, Olivia would think about that bad rainy night when she had pushed the button on the intercom at the Blackwood estate. She would be amazed at how that one thing she did had changed her life much. Olivia and Julian had made a life that was full of love. They laughed a lot. The little girl, Grace, grew up to be a kid who loved her father so much, and she thought his wheelchair was the most fun thing to play with in the whole house. Olivia and Julian were happy to see Grace grow up like that. The Blackwood estate was a memory now, but Olivia would always remember that night when she'd press the intercom. Julian never got to walk, but he would always say that the accident actually gave him something really important. It took away all the things that did not matter, like pretending to be someone he was not, being too proud and being scared. The accident left him with the things that are truly important in life. Love is one of them. Family is another one. Then there is purpose. Julian said that love and family and purpose are what make life worth living. The Blackwood estate is not a place anymore. It is a home now. The Blackwood estate is filled with the sound of a child laughing. There is a lot of love at the Blackwood estate. People give love freely at the Blackwood estate. The Blackwood estate is a place where people get chances. They build their lives again at the Blackwood estate. The Blackwood estate has a lot of tomorrows to look forward to. Every night, Julian held Olivia in their bed. The baby Grace was sleeping in the nursery down the hall. Julian whispered the words to Olivia that he had said on that first special weekend they spent together 2 years before. He said, "I love you too, Olivia." Julian told Olivia that he would love her today and tomorrow and always. Julian loved Olivia. He wanted her to know that he would always love her every single day. Olivia would smile at him, kiss him softly. Then she would say to him, "I love you." She would always say this to him no matter what happened with the things they were doing. Olivia would tell him, "I love you," and she really meant it. Some love stories do not go as planned. They get messed up by things that happen. These stories are also tested by situations and made stronger because of the hard times. These are the stories that people remember. They show that love is not about everything being perfect or happening at the time. Love is to people who really care about each other, and they do not give up on each other no matter what problems they face. Love stories like these are the ones that truly last. the ones that prove love's about two people who refuse to give up on each other, and that is what makes love stories like these so special, these love stories, and in the end, that is the only story worth telling. The story of love that conquers all.